I'm Monica Zita. So I'm a director here at Queensland Premium Allied Health, so QPAH we call ourselves. And by trade, I'm a registered music therapist, and my offsider, the co-director of QPAH, is Hannah Bowler. She's just experienced a computer meltdown. She's going to join us as soon as she can, but she's our principal speech pathologist as well.
Yeah. Nice.
So we're situated on the Gold Coast. Whereabouts are you?
We are located in Goodna.
In Goodna.
So in
Okay.
Ipswich, Goodna, Queen Street.
Okay. So we do offer services across Queensland and northern New South Wales, and we have another mobile music therapist up in Townsville too. So we're a multidisciplinary allied health clinic. So we have music therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy. And we've been delivering programs to more and more early learning centres. And so we thought this might be a valuable experience just to be able to talk through some of the things that we offer. So I'm just quickly going to go through our approach and our programs. We have two sort of formalised programs, Rhythm Ready and Language Liftoff, and how we deliver those services and the outcomes that we look to achieve and the reasons why you might want to consider engaging. I will push on. So everything we basically do, we try to do as a partnership with the early learning centres. When we've refined that process along the way, we try and embed strategies in the real environments and tailor it to the service. So given it's just you and us at the moment, you're free.
Do you want me to turn my camera on so you don't feel like you're talking to yourself?
Sorry.
I'm trying to, do you want people to see in the meeting? Use camera. I don't know if it's working.
It's not. That's okay. That's all right.
I tried.
That's okay. So we are very much working from obviously an evidence-informed neurodiversity affirming and practical approach. So strategies fit into everyday routines rather than trying to add something extra or do something more than what the educators are already doing. We really believe that one-off PD, it just doesn't translate to a change in practice as much as embedding things in an everyday routine situation. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So I'll take you through Rhythm Ready. So that is our early childhood regulation and participation program, and it obviously targets engagement as well. It builds educator capability through evidence-informed rhythm, movement, and music-based strategies, and it's delivered by our registered music therapists. And we have the occupational therapists as well that we can also involve in that program. I'm just going to admit Hannah. So this is our principal speech pathologist joining us now.
Yeah.
So it's the OTs. So where there's a big need for sensory processing input, then we can bring the OTs in as well. It supports a wide range of areas, like it says on the slide there: emotional regulation, co-regulation, group participation, attention and engagement, smoother transitions, sensory processing, and that all important sense of social connection and belonging. So we really try and use music and its elements to create the ideal sensory environment. I think that's the easiest way to describe it. And we've been doing some work in a kindy quite intensively over a 3-month period up here on the Gold Coast, and we've done a full sound audit of the kindy and really refine the auditory landscape to try and reduce sensory overwhelm, because the director told us that all she ever does anymore is deal with challenging behaviours. And when we went in there, we just tweaked some things really quite simply, and it's made a massive, massive difference. So we're currently collecting data around the impact of that. And we will share the results pretty as soon as we can. So that's Rhythm Ready. Now, Hannah, I have explained who you are already. I've done an introduction. So Hannah had some technical difficulties. But Hannah, do you want to talk quickly to Language Liftoff?
Yeah, of course. Do you want to flick the slide? Sorry, Mon.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
There you go.
There we go. So Language Liftoff is our counter program, I suppose, to Rhythm Ready, which is run by our team of speech pathologists. Although a little bit similar to what Mom was saying about Rhythm Ready was sometimes getting an OT involved as well. We can have that option with Language Liftoff too, for one of our music therapists to come and join the program as well. But basically, Language Liftoff supports children and educators in all of the areas that is within the scope of speech pathology. That is also precursors and really important for children at that 4 to 5 year old age range as they get ready for school. We really like to individualize our programs. I'm sure Mon already mentioned that. Sorry again, I was late in with my technical issues. So really what's listed is a range of areas that the program for your centre can include, but it doesn't have to include all of them. Some centres really prefer or have a really particular need. For example, you know, some of the centres that we support have a lot of children that don't speak English as a first language. So yeah, we really tailor it to whatever suits your needs. Most commonly, though, the biggest area that we usually focus on in this age group is oral language development, and that includes both understanding and use of language. So understanding, I'm sure you've heard of, is called receptive language, and use of language is called expressive language. And really, these are the foundations of all children that age as they prepare to get into more curriculum-based learning as they start school. Probably the other kind of big area in this age group that centres are seeking some support with is pre-literacy skills. And definitely not to confuse that with always necessarily needing for the children to actually learn to read and write necessarily. But the skills that come before that, probably more commonly known as phonological awareness, which is, you know, just a slightly more technical word for phonics, I suppose. But really where we're teaching children what is a word, what does it sound like, how to identify a word and break a sentence into words, and just more of that word and sound awareness just from listening. That is obviously also you know, hugely helpful for them if they can already do that before starting more formal literacy instruction as they head into prep. We do lots of other things again. Some of them are listed on the slide. One that's not listed and that does overlap with Rhythm Ready as well is social interaction skills. I suppose that's a really common area that we can also support as speech pathologists or within our QPAH team. But yeah, basically you can pick up to like a 10 or a 12-week program with Language Liftoff. Again, it depends on your centre how we recommend those weeks might look. So for example, with a smaller cohort or class of children, we might sort of recommend that each week builds or steps up from the week before. In some of the larger, busier classes, we may just sort of repeat the similar activities but using a different book, for example, just so that every child gets the opportunity to really consolidate those foundation skills at that level before we sort of try and make it trickier, I suppose. Again, as Mon said, very similar with Rhythm Ready and all of our early learning programs. It's about not just working with the kids coming in and leaving and hope they learnt something. It's about empowering the educators to be able to continue running those programs when we're not there. So very practical, lots of additional resources are provided on the areas that we target. And just working as a really awesome team.
That's it. So Sneva is in Goodna, Hannah. So she's a while away. But I was just going to say that while we work from this model of modelling and coaching in the room, and then like the PD normally comes first, but the way we structure it when we need to travel is more intensive. So we've done proposals where we come in, the day before, do a PD with the educators that night. So we do the learning, and then we do an intensive block of coaching on the floor the following day, and then we can follow up with the mentoring online at different periods across the next sort of 10 to 8 weeks, so that we're always checking in with the educators and tweaking what's working and what's not once we have a feel for the centre and how it works. But if we were local to you, then we can we can come in 10 times and do the sessions inside the centre. But where we can't do that, where it's not logistically possible, then we have this other model that we can offer. So normally we would do professional development in the form, of an evening, 2 hours, 1 hour, whatever meets the needs of the centre. Then we do the modelling, and then we leave the educators to practice. Then we check in. So we really encourage the reflective practice, because that's where the change comes from, basically. And then hopefully the strategies that we've modelled and talked through are just embedded and become part of everyday education. So I've touched on this, the in-room coaching and the reflective mentoring and leadership consultation. So at the end of a program, we can always meet with the director or a lead educator to talk about what might happen next. If there is a need for more mentoring, you can always check in and book in more sessions, or perhaps it's a different program that builds on the skills that we've just delivered to the particular early learning centre. So for children, the outcomes are what you would expect, and they meet the kindy uplift criteria as well. So we have improved regulation, increased participation, all of the things. You can read those there, and I can share the slides with you. But for the educators in particular, it's that increased confidence and really practical, easy-to-use strategies that they don't need to be qualified speech therapists or music therapists to do. And providing that reasoning, the why behind what we do, often helps to just to build that better understanding of all the concepts that we're teaching. That leads to stronger relationships with the children and hopefully reduce stress and overwhelm for the educators themselves. And this consistent language across the centre is a really it's a prominent outcome that's sort of emerging from some of the trainings that we're doing at the moment, is that everyone's attending the PDs, and we're including lots of the rooms in the coaching sessions and that reflective practice, that everyone's learning the same language around regulation. And for the children, and the same strategy. So for the children moving through the centre, if what they are receiving across the centre as they do move through is consistent, then that only leads to better outcomes in the long run as well. We promised only 20 minutes, so we won't keep you too much longer. I'm very mindful of the time. But these are just some of the options that we have. So the PD workshops, the PD coaching packages, the embedded partnership programs, and child focus group programs. And we know that there are different funding schemes that the kindies can use to access some of these programs. And we have we have had centres use a variety of different methods to access. So, but definitely does meet the Kindy Uplift criteria for that engagement and participation and communication. I think that is it. I'm going to stop sharing. And if you have any questions at all that you want to talk through in regards to your own early learning centre, we'll be happy to answer them, Sneva, or we can let you go.
Hey, sorry, Mon, I just realized that I've got a lunch to cover. But before I quickly go, the PowerPoint that you just shared and the PV that you just did, is that recorded for us to come back and rewatch later?
I have recorded it, yes. Yep.
Oh, awesome. So am I able to get a copy of that too?
Sure.
So just I can share with my team later and then get them to reflect on it.
Yeah,
As
absolutely.
music is a big part of our team. Like I feel like music is our biggest strength in helping with transitioning with children and connecting with children as well and building them the relationships.
Yep.
So that's why I hopped onto this. I only just found your the PD this morning around 9 o'clock and I quickly signed up for it. But it is very useful. It's a very useful tool that I can share with our team.
Okay, that's fantastic. I'll make sure that you get a copy of the recording, and I'll send through a copy of our early learning partnerships menu, if you like, and the slides that we've just shared with you too.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so much, Mon.
My pleasure. Thank you for taking the
Have
time.
a lovely rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.